Welcome back to the Echo Classroom. This is the first episode of a new series called Echo Under Pressure. We're going to work through cases that look very similar to what you may encounter on registry examinations administered by the ARDMS and CCI. The goal here isn't memorizing numbers. The goal is learning to think through measurements and recognizing what they mean. Because when you understand the reasoning, the answers become much easier. Before we begin, it's important to understand something. Registry exams often include measurement combinations that are intentionally misleading. These are what I like to call registry traps. The purpose of these traps is not to trick you unfairly. The purpose is to see whether you truly understand how the measurements relate to each other. So as we go through these cases, try not to focus on just one number. Instead, step back and think about what the measurements are telling you as a whole. Each case begins with a short clinical scenario and some measurements. Take a moment to look at the numbers and decide what they mean before the answer appears. And remember, if you need more time, you can always pause the video. This exercise is really about training your clinical reasoning. During each case, you will see something called a pressure point. A pressure point represents the single concept that the registry question is really testing. When you're under pressure during an exam, recognizing that concept is what allows you to arrive at the correct answer. When we reach that moment in a case, I'll pause and highlight the pressure point. Let's start with the first case. A 72-year-old patient presents with progressive shortness of breath during activity and a systolic murmur. The echocardiogram shows the following measurements. Peak velocity across the valve measures 3.6 meters per second. The mean gradient is 28 millimeters of mercury, and the calculated valve area is 0.8 square centimeters. Take a moment and look carefully at those numbers. What is the most appropriate interpretation? The correct answer here is discordant aortic stenosis. This is a classic registry trap. Here's the pressure point. Notice something important. The velocity and the gradient both fall in the moderate range, but the valve area falls in the severe range. When the measurements don't agree like this, the correct interpretation is discordant grading. This kind of mismatch is a classic registry trap. Here's the next case. A 68-year-old patient with a systolic murmur undergoes echocardiographic evaluation. Peak velocity measures 4.2 meters per second. The mean gradient is 35 millimeters of mercury, and the valve area is 1.2 square centimeters. Based on these numbers, what is the severity? The correct answer here is severe aortic stenosis. Even though the gradient and the valve area aren't in the severe range, the velocity is above the 4 meters per second. While this may look discordant, the velocity being greater than 4 meters per second alone meets the criteria for severe aortic stenosis. Velocity is often the most reliable measurement when Doppler alignment is good. The trap here is you may think it's discordant. That is not necessarily the case. This is why registry logic matters. Velocity is considered the most direct measurement of obstruction. This concept appears frequently in registry prep. Here's another example. A 70-year-old patient undergoes echocardiography after a murmur is detected during a routine examination. Peak velocity is 2.7 meters per second. The mean gradient is 18 millimeters of mercury. The valve area is 1.7 square centimeters. What is the severity? The correct answer is mild aortic stenosis. In this case, all the numbers fall within the mild range. When everything lines up like that, the interpretation becomes much simpler. Here's another case. A 67-year-old patient is referred for evaluation for a systolic murmur. Peak velocity measures 3.2 meters per second. The mean gradient is 24 millimeters of mercury. The valve area measures 1.3 square centimeters. Take a moment to look at those measurements. What is the severity? The correct answer is moderate aortic stenosis. This is a good example of a case where the measurement lines up nicely. The velocity falls within 3 and 4 meters per second, which places it in the moderate range. The gradient and valve area support the same conclusion. When the measurements agree like this, interpretation becomes much more straightforward. Here's one more example. A 72-year-old patient is noted to have calcified aortic valve on imaging. The peak velocity across the valve measures 2.5 meters per second. What is the correct interpretation? The correct answer is aortic sclerosis. This is another important concept. The valve can appear thickened or calcified and still not produce significant obstruction. If the velocity remains below 3 meters per second, the correct interpretation is aortic sclerosis, not stenosis. This distinction appears frequently on registry exams. Here's another case. A 69-year-old patient with hypertension presents with fatigue and reduced exercise tolerance. The echocardiogram shows the following measurements. Peak velocity across the valve measures 2.8 meters per second. The mean gradient is 16 millimeters of mercury, and the calculated valve area is 0.9 square centimeters. Take a moment to look carefully at those numbers. What is the most appropriate interpretation? The correct answer here is discordant aortic stenosis. Here's the key concept. The valve area suggests severe stenosis because it's below 1 square centimeters. However, the velocity and the gradient both fall in the mild to moderate range. When the measurements disagree like this, the correct interpretation is discordant grading. Recognizing the mismatch is exactly what the question is testing. Here's the next case. A 74-year-old patient is evaluated for a systolic murmur. Peak velocity is 4.1 meters per second. The mean gradient is 39 millimeters of mercury. The valve area is 0.95 square centimeters. Take a moment to decide. The correct answer is severe aortic stenosis. This is another common trap. The gradient is close to 40, but not quite there. That can make students hesitate, but the velocity is already above 4 meters per second, and the valve area is also in the severe range. So this is severe. Take a look at this one. A 66-year-old patient presents with worsening fatigue. Peak velocity is 3.0 meters per second. The mean gradient is 21 millimeters of mercury. The valve area is 1.4 square centimeters. What is the severity? Take a moment to decide. The correct answer is moderate aortic stenosis. This is a very useful threshold to remember. Once the velocity reaches 3 meters per second, that enters moderate range. This is one of those foundational values that students need to be very comfortable with. Here's another straightforward example. A 67-year-old patient is referred for evaluation for a systolic murmur. Peak velocity is 3.2 meters per second. The mean gradient is 24 millimeters of mercury. The valve area is 1.3 square centimeters. What is the severity? The correct answer is moderate aortic stenosis. This is a nice moderate case because the measurements all point in the same direction. The velocity is moderate, the gradient is moderate, and the valve area also supports moderate stenosis. This is a good baseline case to compare against the trickier ones. Here's the final case. A 54-year-old patient undergoes echocardiography after a systolic murmur is detected during a routine examination. The aortic valve appears thickened with some mild calcification, but the leaflets still open fairly well. Peak velocity across the valve measures 2.6 meters per second. Mean gradient is 14 millimeters of mercury. Take a moment to think about it. What is the most appropriate interpretation? The correct answer here is aortic sclerosis. Here's the key concept. Even though the valve appears thickened and calcified, the velocity remains below 3 meters per second. Because there is no significant obstruction, this represents aortic sclerosis, not true stenosis. This is a common registry concept. Appearance alone does not determine severity. Hemodynamics do. Before wrapping up, remember this. The registry is not testing memorization. It's testing whether the concept behind the measurement is understood. Once that concept becomes clear, the answer becomes much easier to recognize. This is exactly what Echo Under Pressure is designed to help with. If you found this helpful, subscribe to the Echo Classroom, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.